So, welcome to Flamingo's latest resident experience and engagement podcast. Today I have Kyrell Hawkins with me, property manager for Village Green. I decided to bring on Kyrell because I absolutely love how he does his resident moving process. And the big reveal is they have a ribbon cutting ceremony. So I actually came across a video on Instagram of one of their residents actually cutting a ribbon, and it was posted on Instagram. And it just looked really cool because I think the moving process is such an underutilized part of the resident experience. And I actually always say that the moving process is the absolutely most important part of moving. It really sets the stage for every single thing else. Is this resident going to attend events? Are they going to listen to the rules? Are they going to be a really good neighbor? Are they going to use the amenities? Are they going to be a problem resident or are they going to be like a model resident? And I think it all starts with moving. And the process, I say, it's always very similar to a new employee. If a new employee moves in, or if a new employee starts, how you do your moving or not moving, how you do your employee orientation really sets the stage for whether that's going to be a great employee. And for property management, the resident moving process, pretty much the same thing. I'll kind of hand it over to Kyrell to give a quick intro. Kyrell, welcome to our latest podcast. Can you kind of tell us a little bit more about you and your background? How did you get into property management?
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me for one. Yeah, this is awesome. Thanks for reaching out. Um, I started with property management in 2018. I was prior to property management, I was cutting meat in Sam's Club meat department. So I took a hard left, but I think it was a necessary left. And fell in love with it. It was just I've always been a people person, always liked getting to know people, and in property management, I got to meet so many people from out of state and coming from all around the country, and it was awesome. So I started with VG at the Burlington in 2018. It's a property in Midway. It was a huge property, 400 and some units. So it was a lot to handle, but it made for, like I said, getting to know a lot of people, and it was a tough challenge coming in, but we executed it really well. We came in and leased it up, and or it was a struggling property, so we leased it up pretty good. But um, then I moved over to the Penfield, which we do manage today. That's a property in downtown St. Paul. It has that London Marley's connected to it. That's how everyone realizes it. But that's a great property too. I got the chance to grow from sales consultant to senior sales at that property, and then also transition into manager and training, all with Village Green. And then grew throughout manager and training, landed at the site I'm at today, 590 Park, which is awesome building. It's just outside of downtown, which is pretty cool because it's, I've always said myself, like I like to stay a little bit outside of downtown, but yeah, I love the building. Residents love it too. It's only 92 units, so it's pretty small. They get to know their neighbors, and how you were kind of talking about, like, just getting out there, using the amenities and being friendly. And I definitely have some motherly residents, and they come down and chat with me. And so yeah, it's a great building. I love the space, and we have a great team behind us. All of Village Green shares the same values. Like the moving process is definitely a huge deal. Like we always say, renewal starts at move-in. Like it starts on the tour, but just trying to perfect those small things, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, absolutely love it. So your background is definitely new to property management. What I like is that you've actually only been in property management for less than 4 years, and you went from leasing to a property manager in less than four. So lots and lots of promotions in a very short amount of time. So what do you ascribe your success to? Or why have you been so successful?
I mean, me personally, I've always just wanted to keep going. Even when I was at Sam's Club, I was, a cashier at first. They wanted to put me as cashier. I came in, I said, I want to be supervisor. I said, no, you got to be a cashier.
Yeah.
So moved up to the desk in 2 months, and then supervisor in 6. So it was like I just wanted to keep going. But with VG, it was honestly my team. Having like such support with my on-site team, my off-site people, my neighbor, sister sites. It's a community of people that just want to see everyone succeed. So yeah, I attribute a ton to my team. I attribute a lot to my property manager, Anna Olson. If you hear this, thank you. Gave me a glowing recommendation to get into the manager and trainer program, and yeah, that was huge for me. And today, Melissa Crespic, shout out to you. Morgan, thank you. Those are my 2 main support channels right now, because it's just me on site there. I'm the property manager, and then we have a service manager. But yeah, so it can get a lot, but I would never trade it. It's, and that helped me get through the ranks of like going to where I wanted to be, because I was expressing like, this is where I want to go. I wasn't quiet about it. I want to be property manager.
Yeah.
So I found out what I needed to do and got it done.
So it sounds like the 2 key things for you has been, one, having a lot of good support. So having a good, both like mentors, and then it also sounded like the second part, being really ambitious for where you wanted to go and vocalizing that. And then one thing you mentioned is that it sounds like Village Green has like a manager and training program. Can you talk more about that?
Yeah, rigorous program, but it was everything you need to know. It's a 6-month program. It's very detailed. You get assignments, but you get your mentor. Again, you get an on-site mentor, and then somebody in corporate who's always there for you. Leanne is the trainer that sent us through that. She was amazing, along with Stephanie Riling. It's all about support. Like when you're trying to grow employees, it's being there as that helping hand, but also letting you kind of figure things out. But always making sure that you have that good foundation to grow. So that program helped me learn a lot within a reasonable amount of time. And throughout like COVID and everything, just huge support for me, especially like you said, like I'm kind of brand new to this. 590 Park is my first site as a property manager, and with all the different stuff getting thrown at me, I'm just leaving sales. So it's a huge help to have all those people behind me.
That's awesome. So I would love to learn more about the moving process for your community. So the highlight obviously sounds like the ribbon cutting, but what does the moving process look like from like start to end?
Yeah, I mean, you reach out to us through one of our ILS systems or our property website, and I'll contact you, just going over what you're looking for, finding out the needs of like your living situation or what you kind of imagine your next home to be, and then we just set up an appointment, check out the space. I obviously get to point out some of the great features of 590 Park. We have 82 studios and 10 one-bedrooms. So it's not, we don't have 2-bedroom apartments, 3-bedroom apartments. So it's a lot more of like people wanting to get out and meet their neighbor. So that helps a ton on tours. We pass by neighbors in the hallway. Hey, welcome neighbor. And I'm like, wait, I'm just touring them. They haven't signed on yet. But it's, it's a good community of people that, want to see people moving in and enjoying the space.
So then once someone like signs the lease, what happens after that? Or what does the actual moving process looks like besides the ribbon cutting ceremony?
Yeah, so the ribbon cutting ceremony, it just came to me. I was like, because I've obviously lived in tons of places myself, like going and renting places in college that were not the greatest places. And, like you feel like the number kind of a move-in. Here's your keys, where's your lease, okay, bye. And just making the move-in experience so special is huge to me just because of my experiences with it. And I like to like make it a fun event. obviously we all know moving is not a great time, but you
Yeah.
can make the most of it. So, like when residents do sign on and want an apartment, we obviously will get the lease out to them really quick. Our process is super fast. It's like you
Hmm.
apply same day, we get answers back within an hour.
Oh, wow.
As long as we get, stuff back that we need from residents, we can get a
Hmm.
lease out to them same day. I actually just rented to somebody yesterday who's moving in Wednesday because they're coming out of town for a
Hmm.
traveling nurse position. So, it's nice to have that ability to just be like, get you in.
Yeah.
And then the ribbon cutting ceremony, I never tell them. It's never like, hey, we have something special for you at move-in. Like, no, it's, hey, I just want to make sure you got everything prepared for move-in. Okay, great. All right, I'll see you at this time. And we obviously go through an orientation and walk through the
Hmm.
building and explain the ins and outs of the building and how everything works. And then we we get down the hallway, and they always notice something's in the hallway. That there's like something down there, but they can't see it. They're like, oh, but they don't mention it either. I can just see
Yeah.
them. And then we get a little closer, a little closer. They're like, wait, is that my apartment? I'm like, yeah, welcome home.
Oh,
It all starts right there. Great laughs and just good times. The one that I posted on Instagram, her dad was actually there too, and he was just super stoked and he loved it. Because it's her first apartment, so it's
yeah.
a dad sending his kid off to her first place. It's not an easy thing to do for a parent, I'm sure.
Hmm.
So it's just nice knowing that they're in good hands.
Yeah. And she looked just like so happy you cutting the ribbon.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
told her I gotta get sharper scissors. I made her work for it.
Yeah, but no, I love that. And I think, as I mentioned before, the moving process really is the one time you can make the best impression on a resident. And the mistake that so many property managers make is they look at the moving process like a checklist. So it's kind of like, oh, did this person send in renter's insurance? Did they get electricity connected? Did they pick up their keys? And that's like it.
Yeah,
But what I say is make it what we call like a moment of magic. So something that's extremely memorable where they are like, oh, I absolutely made the right decision to move in here because they just made me feel so special. And those are the things that stick in that person's mind. Those are the things that they post on social media that kind of gets you even more attention.
yeah.
Yeah. So, what have been some of the results of your moving process, or what else do you guys do as part of that moving process to make people feel special besides the ribbon cutting?
Yeah, we do like move-in gifts and stuff too, so
Hmm.
everyone will get something kind of tailored to them. So if you have pets, we have relationships with a few pet stores in
Hmm.
downtown. Our main one is Chuck and Don's in Lower Town. That place has everything I've ever needed. I have two dogs myself, so it's like
Hmm.
going in there and seeing all the stuff. It's definitely a great place. So they give us a lot of stuff that we can throw into the moving packs and just kind of like specialize it if you got a cat or a dog. Uh,
Hmm.
and then obviously, like I said, just taking them around, showing them the space, remembering it's honestly about making those true connections where it's not like, oh, what did they say on the tour? Like it's like, no, I remember. Like we're building a
Hmm.
relationship and just bringing those things up. And you're like, yeah, oh, you said you wanted to have your wardrobe hanging right here. Like, look how perfect this spot is. And they're
Yeah.
like, oh yes, just getting them pumped and excited about the space because it is their new home. They're gonna go there every
Mhm.
day. So it's yeah, like I said, just getting them excited about that space. It's the best feeling.
Yeah. And then what have been some of the results you guys have seen as part of that? Um, One, personalizing the moving experience with moving gifts that are personalized to that person, whether it's a dog owner or a cat owner or the ribbon ceremony. What have been some of the results you've seen?
Great results. I mean, people will, especially like those residents that just fall in love with the process and they're like,
Hmm.
"Oh, this was amazing." I couldn't imagine anything different. They're always down talking with me, and one resident called me his best friend, and it's just like having those good relationships has been the result. Honestly, people are a lot more responsive. People
Hmm.
are a lot more responsible in terms of like, cleaning up after themselves and the amenities and
Hmm.
following the rules with COVID, because we know those are hard sometimes to get residents
Yeah.
to kind of go along with. So it's definitely helped on that end. It's helped us helped us with referrals.
Hmm.
Um, we've we've already gotten a few referrals from current residents who moved in right away. They moved in right away, and we got a referral within a month for somebody else to move in.
Yeah.
And it kind of was just steamrolling like that for a little while, and
Hmm.
it's great to have people mentioning the building in such a positive way. I mean, like you mentioned on your post, our Google reviews are 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
People love the building.
And that was the next thing I was going to touch on. So one, I actually love the fact that you brought up a really concrete part of the results of this, which is people refer like right away. When you get people excited about something, they are more than willing to do a referral. And that moving process is really one of the best times to get those referrals because they are just as excited and they want to have more people experience what they just experienced. So just imagine if every resident that moves in refers someone like within a month, like your leasing would have their job done for them. And then the
Yeah,
second part is the reviews. Like you guys, your reviews right now are 5 out of 5 on Google, which is amazing. What I really liked as well is that 81% of the reviews like mention you either by name or they say manager or the manager. So which is
yeah,
amazing to like see that. Like 5 out of 5, and then 81% of the reviews mention you as part of what made the experience so amazing. So
yeah.
again, like the moving process so important because you have real concrete results from having something like that.
Yeah, truly. And it's like I said, it even starts with the tour, just really tailoring the experience. I've noticed huge results from that. Of just I'm coming in and saying like, "Oh, right, you like mochas, right? Okay, well, we have
Mhm.
a berry coffee machine in our lobby, and it's like, okay, I have one ready for you. Like, welcome to
Mhm.
your new building." So that, like little things like that, they do remember,
Mhm.
and it goes a long way.
Yeah. And then, so for you, what does the process look like after the resident has moved in? So what else do you guys do as part of your resident experience to get people to continue to be excited about the property?
Yeah. Well, I'll always mention like if they have friends coming by and stuff, because
Mhm.
usually that's what happens. They'll move in and a day or two they have new friends coming over, check the place out,
Mhm.
and walking around the building. I'll sometimes step in there, hey, introduce myself, I'm Kyrell. Like, did you guys want to take a quick tour around the
Mhm.
building and check out the different spaces? And they're like, yeah, sure, absolutely, and just building a relationship with the friends too, and like letting everybody know, like, come check the building out. But yeah, it's after the move-in happens, we always follow up. Obviously, we have like the sheet that they have to turn back in.
Yeah.
So when they bring the mail key down, it's just, hey, how'd the move-in go? Did like how did this go with that, or like whatever you can remember from the tour,
Mhm.
and just saying and following up. Like, did you notice anything in the apartment? Is there anything you want us to take a look at? No, everything went great. Or yeah, there is this thing. Can you check it out? Obviously, if there is something, apologize, take care of it right away, and then
Yeah.
really will, like even enhance it a little bit more sometimes. Um, but obviously, the best result in a new building is nothing. So that's what we should
Yeah.
do. So, but yeah, it's just following up. We have an email, or I send an email out just touching on, like, hey, I'm just so happy to have you here. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with. Make sure you check out the events, and then just mention the next one coming up. Uh,
Yeah.
Speaking of the event, sorry, I don't know where the agenda is, but we had a pretty cool event that I think more people should do. There was treasure hunt
Hmm.
during COVID, where you can't really like gather at all.
Hmm.
It was a great resident event, and I think it definitely had to do with, again, the like uniqueness of our building. We 82 studios, but we did a treasure hunt where I sent an email out and I was like, okay, guys, I'm hiding this item somewhere in the building. You got to go find it and bring it to me. And the first person to bring it in gets a gift card.
Yeah.
And I sent the email out. It was probably 4 p.m. by 6:20, I had two different residents run down to the office, banging on the door, yelling at me saying, "Kyrell, where is it? I've checked everywhere." So it's just like doing little things like that too. It's
Yeah,
so fun to just get them engaged, and
yeah,
at a time where you can't really do much, it's nice to just step out, and it's a new building, like I said, so they
yeah.
probably have not even checked these spaces out.
Yeah,
So
and that's
it's
what I was gonna say. I
something.
love that idea because it forces them to go explore the building and see
Yep,
different parts that they might not have even thought about or taken a look at. So love that part of it.
yep,
And
and
I think
that's
it's
exactly
also
what it
something that
did.
more people should do as even part of moving. So that's act a treasure hunt or scavenger hunt is one of the key things I recommend that properties do during the moving process. So one of the things we advise property managers is as part of your moving to have what we call like a moment of magic. So for you, it's the ribbon cutting. For other places, we recommend doing something like an integration challenge where residents have to complete that challenge and then they get like a gift card. So the integration challenge or it could be a scavenger hunt, it could be have residents complete a series of challenges. For example, they could post in the social feed of your resident app. They could visit and work out or check out all of the different amenities and take a picture or selfie and then post on social media. They can get coffee with a neighbor and send that picture or post on social media. So all those things that get them to become more integrated to the building like right away and very quickly. And then they have the opportunity to earn a reward for doing that. And then the benefit for the property is one, you get residents that get really excited about
Right.
moving in. And then two, you get that social media exposure because they have to add those things to social media and tag the building. So one thing that I
Right.
always recommend is definitely have some type of integration challenge.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm stealing that actually, Jude. So
No, go
thank you.
for it.
Doing that.
No, definitely go for it. Have plenty of more of where those come from.
That is a good
Yeah.
idea. Yeah, the ribbon cutting thing. This was the second one that I posted. The first one I
Mhm.
posted, it just flew around VG. Like everyone was
Mhm.
sharing, oh, we should do this, we should do this, we should do this. And then
Mhm.
I just start seeing more and more ribbon cuttings with VG.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we definitely latched on to
He
good
set the
ideas.
stage, yeah. And I love that too. I think one thing more property managers need to do is really share best practices across their community because each property manager always comes up with really good things to do, but that doesn't get spread around. And that's part of the reason why we have this podcast is to help really share best practices so that everyone benefits at the end of the day.
Yep, yep. It's all about helping the team.
Cool. So, as we kind of wrap up, we'd love to know from you, what do you see as the future of the resident experience? Where do you see things staying the same, and where do you see things like changing or evolving?
Um, I was actually just talking with somebody. I feel like the orientation
Mhm.
aspect of it will change up. I think I'm gonna change mine up for sure. And because right now it just seems like one of those like a checklist item.
Mhm.
Hey, I did it. And I want it to be and a lot of times residents don't remember half of the stuff. And
Yep.
I've had all the time where people say like, oh, where do I go for recycling? It's like, oh,
Mhm.
here. Um, so I don't know. I think that's gonna change up. I would honestly, I think I'm gonna do like a video and just like record and go show and keep it like
Yeah.
exciting to like send out. So I think that'll definitely change up. In terms of like buildings, I know there's a lot coming up. We yeah, there's a lot coming up. Sorry, I don't know what I can talk about. But there is oops, sorry. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of development with just crazy kind of features in the apartments coming up. So I think that's gonna definitely add, I don't know, I guess a disadvantage to some of the older builds because we have some older builds too. Like Penfield
Mhm.
is 2014, so it's showing its colors a little bit. It's an amazing building, but it's hard to compete with a 22 build that has
Mhm.
everything you could ever wish for. So there's going to be, it always keeps it competitive, keeps it
Yeah.
thing because you always got to find like that next thing to differentiate and
Yeah,
keep your name in front. So whatever it changes into, I'm excited for it.
yeah. Okay, awesome. Well, Kyrell, I appreciate you being on the latest episode of Flamingo's Resident Experience and Engagement podcast. I think a lot of people are going
Absolutely.
to learn a lot from you as far as the resident moving process and really how to make it special for residents. So, really appreciate you being on this episode.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. This was definitely cool to do.